Welcome to HP Unplugged, the initiative that highlights the inspiring stories of leadership, innovation and excellence at Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. Today, we have the privilege of hosting Shri Amitava Mukhopadhyay, Executive Director Engineering Projects and Facilities Planning, a stalwart in project development and execution, engineering and facilities planning. With over 3 decades of rich experience spanning construction engineering, vigilance and leadership roles, Shri Mukhopadhyay's journey exemplifies dedication, resilience and relentless drive for perfection. As a key contributor to HPCL's engineering and projects domain, his work has consistently delivered operational excellence and innovation, making HPCL a benchmark in the industry. Without further delays, let's dive into the fascinating journey and insights of Shri Amitava Mukhopadhyay. Sir, a very warm welcome to you on HP Unplugged. We are truly privileged to have you here, sir.
Thank you, dear. It is a privilege for me to be in this platform just to share my thought and journey.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, speaking about your journey, it has been a wonderful 35 years in this corporation, from site engineering, vigilance, and then leadership in engineering and facilities planning. So, any highlights that you would like to focus and tell us about your journey in HPCL?
When I look back, so it is a formative innings of 35 years in this prodigious organizations, and it has actually culminated to such a long innings with the supports and blessings of the seniors and the efforts that has been given with my team members and the juniors all through my careers. Right from the formative years when I started my career in Chennai as a construction engineer.
Okay.
That time we used to go for construction activity. There's some tank construction was going on. That was the time when we learned about the basic intricacies of technicalities, whatever is not taught in the engineering colleges.
Okay.
And fundamentally we grow learning the efficacy of project management initial lessons, how to handle vendor stakeholders, and moreover working in a working terminals which has a very rigorous safety environments. And with the gracious presence of then Chief Regional Manager, who was a very generous and learned person, so we started our career. Subsequently, those experience actually counted in subsequent activities in Paradeep and so many places where I moved in the initial years. First 5-6 years, we have very wide range of transfers covering almost all over India, and before stabilizing in headquarters for some times. The period after maybe around 15 or 18 years, I was moved to vigilance, and it came as a surprise, and it was actually a real surprise to me. But on the hindsight, when I look back, that was the innings which actually shaped me with my different visions, how to look into the nitty-gritty and integrity of corporate governance. And subsequently, after various assignments, I moved into as a head of this SBUs. And here the primarily what gives me immense pleasure that I got associated with the corporation overall strategy, that is T20, subsequently T25, where we are mandated to fusion the growth of the sales business, and it was not possible without the growth in our supply chain scenario. And I think this SBUs played a major role in revamping and adding infrastructure which actually fostered the growth from 37 million ton to today we are marketing off-taking product from the SOD location to the extent of around 56 with a surplus capacity for catering to next maybe 5 years more. So when I look back, it is basically the adaptability, resilience and the integrity towards executing your own job which actually drives. And if I have to talk about some defining moments, one was when I moved into headquarters, where from field coming to headquarters, it gives a different feeling and different exposure altogether, because that time till field we are concentrating on one project. In headquarters we are giving multiple projects in those days, and subsequently moving to vigilance gives another dimensions. And one of the major transformation which I feel personally was getting an opportunity to be part of Akshay and Akshay Path in the initial days in mid-management level, which actually shaped my vision and personality towards the leadership, actually, which ultimately at senior level everybody is trying to gain the insight of that.
So sir, must be feeling very proud, like joined in the department now, heading the department.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's a different feeling
Definitely,
altogether.
because when we joined, we had a lot of stalwarts in these departments, and we used to look at them and we used to dream that we should be able to pick up their traits to, if not at their level, but at least to the extent that I can also be remembered for contributing for this company.
Right, sir. Talking about your contribution to the company and the kind of projects that you are doing, those infrastructure that you said from 37 to 56 million metric ton that we have achieved. So what are some unique challenges that you have faced, and how did you overcome some success stories that you would like to focus on?
See, when I look back to this journey of executing these infrastructures for the company, now one fundamental thing which drives the project is that these projects are all capital in nature and is of a long durations. Once the project is approved for 24 months or 36 months, you accept the apex level monitorings and the regular inspections, audits, other things. The people at project sites are actually sort of into oblivion, they are doing their duty.
Almost invisible.
Almost invisible, technically, for the corporate eyes. Now, one is that how to put them into a path of motivation. Now, for project team, it is not the motivation of appreciation, because you don't have a opportunity of day-to-day appreciations. So it is basically motivate them for a larger cause for the company, that we are ultimately fueling the business growth of the company. And it is basically a satisfaction or motivation through success of creating something. Now that was one thing which I visualized, and in fact in those days I carried out some of my mindset study by involving HR to understand that what is the holdback they are having, what is the mental requirement or psychological requirement this project team is youngsters are having, because it is predominantly youngsters which are driving the project, except few large projects where we have a senior in charge. So what to my mind what work is that it is basically adaptability, resilience and integrity of the project engineer, because we are giving them crores of rupees and we have to bestow trust on them. So once you are they are trusted, they deliver their best. So that was the basic ethos which I thought in my senior role, that how to drive these projects. Now going by the projects, there are so many challenges we have faced in the initial days, particularly in last 5-6 years. The complexity level of project has changed. Increased. Now it is the local agitations, villagers agitations, then statutory issues and compliances, and the number of compliances has increased that this department today I might be sending around 40-50 compliance report to various authorities. So that is, to that extent, all the reports are getting generated from the field only. Now the project execution per se, it at some point of time, it goes beyond only the technical expertise. It also harp on interpersonal skills and managing the stakeholders. So
behavioral competency.
Behavioral competency plays a very important role of the engineers, that how they behave with the external stakeholders, because today every stakeholder has become very sensitive to their rights and to their ethos. So to manage them and forming a team, because ultimately we don't execute, it is executed through the vendors. So those are the few challenges which have been facing. And I would precisely say that the local challenges, villagers agitations and all these things, to some extent from corporate level we had certain backups wherein we are getting some project related CSRs and all these things. So they are really helpful in mixing with the local villagers and bringing them in alignment to the project. Sometimes we have to take sessions that what is the hindsight benefit that it is going to be brought in to the villagers once the project is smoothly progressing. And in some instances,
spreading goodwill amongst them.
Exactly. So that once we are going with the project per se is a temporary endeavor. But what we look for when we are executing project, that this year we are investing, so we are going to be there minimally for 50-70 years. Now unless the local peoples are not aligned with you, tomorrow they will be going to create problem for your operations also. So those are the things which are mined and where the project peoples are trained not to leave any issues at the behind that we will be going ahead and it will leave behind for somebody else to handle. So it was basically comprehensive outlook that we wanted to bring in. Now leaving out other challenges that there are a lot of high level issues. There are certain problems which cannot be resolved at local level. So we are fortunate that our ministry has been helping us to a very large extent, where the issues could be taken at the highest level of the respective state governments. And in statutory front also, because of our frequent visits to the higher level statutory authorities, things has smoothened out. And frankly telling, except the temporary hindrances, most of the projects we could complete in time because of this coordinated effort, where I also give equal credit to all the stakeholders, other departments who has also at time whenever it is demanded or required, they have come up with their extensive supports and helps. And one of the biggest challenge in project implementation, like I remember during the COVID time. So this project engineer, after 1 month seizure,
that would be really difficult.
After 1 month seizure, we were asked by the government that you start all the projects because the laborers were stranded and they were nowhere to go. So at some places, the vendors were generous enough to provide the required rations and retaining those laborers. And all those migrated laborers, once they migrate out, it is getting them mobilized, it takes 3 to 4 months and it was losing the project time. So I will tell you, my project engineers at that point of time played an enormous role. They out of the way, some people got affected with COVID and some people who are trading to there by rotation, take care of these issues of giving welfare to the rationing to the laborers and some amount of supports. So that actually helped us in mitigating this thing. So I will never forget those days where the various zonal level HR and zonal heads also extend their continuous support for the officers who fail ill for their required treatments and all these things. So overall, it is basically a coordinated effort, and on behalf of project, it is my sincere thanks to all the people who are associated and helping us in the projects.
Thank you, sir, for answering the question. You spoke about a lot of challenges in the project. So, any particular projects that you would like to focus on? Any ambitious project of yours? Like recently, I had the opportunity to visit Raipur and your new project, which is coming up, the Raipur, the new terminal there. So, and it is also part of the Gati Shakti project. So, I was really enthralled with that project. So any such kind of ambitious project that you would like to focus on, and maybe tell us the success story behind it?
See, if I talk about project, in every project is a new learning. It has its own challenges, and every project gives a different learning altogether. The project team get matured. To my mind, Raipur, we had initial lot of challenges. There was land issues which actually deterred us from starting the project itself by several months. And it was only after coordinated effort at senior level, I have to travel 70 times to meet the CEOs and the secretaries of the state, escalated to ministry, and then it got resolved. Subsequently, we had issues with railways where we have to escalate the issue to the railway board chairman to get a sort of mandate to get this thing, to entire railway DRM team to get mobilized in the project. And thank God, all the government department also has their own priorities and constraints. So thanks to all of them at gestures that they have helped us. But if I talk about one project which was something new, initial stage it was data center for the company at Hyderabad.
IS data center.
IS data center, which was a very new type of technologically. It was a technologically challenge for us because we are not exposed to this thing. Although we only set up the PH Annex data center in initial days, but Hyderabad data center, the scale was almost at par of the top order scale, where it could match any largest scale of data centers. So planning that facility with 200% redundancy and all the data center standards and specification which used to be prevalent at that point of time, it took a lot of brainstorming and challenging efforts. And of late, we were fortunate rather to get associated with one project we executed for FPD Leh. To my mind, it is unique in the sense that this is the first time we bid for a contract from Army, and we direct sales own that contract. So once we bid for a contract, it was a specific value that is attached to that project. So you can't exceed that, then it will be your money which will be sunk. And second constraint was the location. It was temperature ranging from -30 to +30, and you can work in only 6 months in a year.
Okay.
So putting human resource and their well-being was a big challenge. I got a lot of support from the HR in terms of giving a lot of relaxation for accommodating our people. And the vendors also, management also was very typical, because you have to take care of the workers who are going there. Okay. There was no way every vendors was accepting their worker to flight. And their stability, health-being, everything has to be monitored there. And we could work only 3 sessions. The challenge was that job contract, when they say that it has to be completed within 3 sessions. Basically, we start from April to November, we could work. So 3 consecutive sessions, that entire thing has to be delivered. Okay. Alongside it came, we also set up that depot in Leh in the same time. So that cumulated our further challenge into these things. But at the end of the year, what was satisfying, that we completed this project, delivered the army with a very high note. It was appreciated by army. And head of the army there in the field petroleum depot, he actually personally sent me a congratulatory message for my team rather. Okay. And it was a really satisfying in the sense that we could save money which comes back as our earning, apart from the normal revenue which it comes. So this was a memorable experience, and my kudos to the project team, my immediate next people in the headquarter, as well as the site team, who slogged it out and delivered this project for the company.
That's good to hear, sir. It's actually good to hear that we are not only making projects and infrastructure for our company, but for the nation. And that is going to go a long way for our energy security and our availability of energy across the country.
And actually that learning has spread out. Nowadays we are taking up a lot of aviation related projects for Air Force, which also will be a lot of learning exercise for us, with imbibing challenge and other opportunities.
Thank you, sir. So we spoke about a lot on the present scenario that you have created the projects. Now, if you want to talk about the future, anything that you would like to say about the future technologies that are coming in and going to change the field of projects in the coming years?
Actually, Sudipto, this when we started initial days, and when I am after 35 years, there is a tremendous amount of technological revolution already has taken place in the field of engineering. Okay. And to give some example, that in every field of facilities, infrastructure we are setting in, be it civil, be it mechanical, be it instrumentation, electrical, I can claim that we are at the global standards. Okay. The entire facility, like if I talk about the terminals, the tankages are constructed as per the latest American standards. Okay. So it meets the global standards. Pipelines and everything is meet the specification and execution, quality standards are all meeting the global standard. Instrumentation, probably we are in a even much advanced, maybe ahead of certain advanced countries. Okay. The particularly terminal automations over the last 4 or 5 years, we have taken multiple, almost all the locations, task upgradation has been handled by this department on behalf of SOD. Okay. And it is one of the latest state-of-art equipments, integrations and software. So rarely you will hear today that we had a failure in terminal automation system in our terminals. So having come to this stage, to my mind there are a lot we need to do because the technology is evolving. And it is basically, if we are not able to keep at par with whatever is the development, we have the risk of obsolescence. Okay. We have the risk of obsolescence. It is applicable to human resource as well as for the company facilities, infrastructure also. Today, whatever facility we are having, it can be spread and lent it out to any world standard companies. They will for operation. Okay. So nobody will hesitate to take this facility as in their standard and operate. Okay. Now looking forward, the major role which is going to play is realization of investment. Now project is a department where actually we are dealing with companies' hard-earned money. So once we are putting money, the focus is on how fast we realize that money. Now it brings a lot of challenges in terms of execution and timeliness and quality of the executions. Once I built, there should be no need to go back and rectify something for maybe next 5 to 10 years. Okay. And as far as the technology is concerned, there are so many things we are also started brainstorming, and we have started some pilots like BIM, Building Information Management. There is already 3D modelings and other things has already started. And basically AI instilled project monitoring system is one we are trying.
Okay.
Earlier we have launched a project benchmark performance monitoring system, which was a very high profile software, and we were successful in rolling out that, but because that we could not roll out because in the between that ERP JD got transferred to SAP.
Okay.
And we are still in dialogue with SAP to whether we can take forward and this thing. So once SAP is out of their stabilization on the basically execution front, regular routine front, probably this will roll out, and this will give a central platform for monitoring all projects. And this idea has already been captured in the CSNP also. They are pursuing to appoint some consultant to drive a software where entire project across organization can be monitored. Through with respect to their physical and performance.
Okay.
And we need to know in advance where we are going wrong. Because what was happening earlier days that unless you are keeping a very close eye, you are never into the project and you are never able to anticipate that where things are going wrong. Today we are in an era where we need to anticipate well in advance where things might go wrong. So that is what the challenge, and to my understanding, apart from the routine technological implementation, whatever we have done, there need a very good amount of investment which should come in the form of implementing sort of digital technologies and techniques that actually facilitate the project management team. It is a very small team we are operating. So once we are having a small team and the spread we are having almost 30 locations across India is working, you need to have a very robust tool where sitting one place they should be able to pinpoint that where things are going wrong. And we don't default in delivering any project beyond the timeline specified by the managements.
Sir, thank you very much for explaining your journey, then the challenges that the project people are facing right now, and also the future about the projects. Now, as one of the most senior members in the field of projects in HPCL, what would you like to give as a parting message to all the project engineers, not only in your department but also in retail engineering, in pipelines, that will benefit them all?
So, this is a very relevant question to me, and what my perspective is that it is the leadership which you need to inculcate at various levels. Now, to me, leadership at middle level and any level is basically adaptability, empathy, and creating a vision around the team. Now, we execute projects of different variety. Now, no two projects will have similar type of challenges or it will have a similar type of solutions. What it needs is a very high degree of collaborative mindsets, wherein people, whenever there is issues or one area to be addressed, which is not in a conventional domain, there is a need to have a collaborative approach of brainstorming. Even I have followed this for a long time, that for any new initiatives or new projects, I used to put a set of team who will brainstorm and come out with their solutions, and we used to refine that and give our input at senior level from out of the senior team. Now, what it does is it actually give a sense of belongingness and involvement of the young people into the main decision-making process. One of the very important perspective of project management is the decision-making. Now, this project management is one area where you cannot sit on any decisions maybe beyond a stipulated few hours, because it is all are going to impact your timeline and cost. So, when I look back in all the project that we have been managing these things, the very creative part is that bringing the entire project team and probably the power of communication, transparent, integrated communications to the project team from the apex level. It plays a very apex level. They feel so delighted. Even a grade officers or officer trainee get a call at any time during the day or even in the night, that inquiring what are you doing, what is the progress, and whether you have any personal difficulty. This actually brings them in the alignment. And they also feel that, as I was telling, that these groups are mostly invisible groups. So they at least get a feeling that somewhere
They belong.
they are belongs to. And on the hindsight, I have been always taking a very close interactive sessions with my pupils. And my advice to the new generation who are incoming or who are growing in this organization to hold the future leadership positions, that you need to focus on your value addition. Unless you create value for yourself, which goes beyond your career progressment, it is actually your value which actually valued in this organization or any system. So value creation requires a focus, attention on your capability, which encompasses the technical competencies, which encompasses the proficiency in handling the stakeholders, which encompasses the visibility. When I talk about visibility, what I mean to say is that you cannot remain hidden when the problems are on the surface. You need to be forerunner.
Head on. You have to,
Head on.
Yeah.
And without creating a conflict, you should always think that how do I serve my larger goal? My larger goal is to deliver these projects, not to embroiled into some controversy or others at this stage. So with this, I feel that we had a very talented people coming into the system. And as such, these young generations are very much inclined or very much, I would say, aware of their career progression, their value creation. So they are having a larger opportunity today in the organization to go any number of trainings, theoretical or any number of physical trainings, wherever they want to take up. They are getting frequent relaxation for taking up external assigned training program in assignments, company sponsoring for training programs. So with this much of opportunity, the whole focus should be to develop the competencies. Now when I talk about competencies, it is a varied competency. Now we had a variety of verticals, and each verticals has its own intricacies to learn. Now unless somebody learned those intricacies at the ground load level or at the middle level, it will be very difficult to command himself in the leadership positions, because at leadership positions your managerial traits should be only governing all the technical competencies, or your 20% technical competency at that stage should be more than 80%, 90% of the freshers. Then only you are able to guide a team with a required level of inputs they are looking for. So I definitely hope that the type of talents we are having in this organization, they will carry forward this legacy. And this type of orientations will prepare people, because project is a vertical where the domain shifts. Today we are more into conventional POL terminal, corporate buildings, aviation system, and already we have started renewable divisions which has the different requirements for renewables, for green hydrogens, for solar. Now project is project. It is the competency of an engineer to develop and adapt and quickly grasp the intricacies of an individual
new
project.
kind of a project.
So basically you need to create a mindset that as a project engineer, I am open to execute any type of
Any
project.
kind of project, yeah.
Unless that is developed, then we again go back into the silos. So that is one advice for the youngsters, that your mind should be open, keep on learning things which is not you are practicing today, and that will keep you in the ahead of the time. And you will avoid the obsolescence. Now if you look back, what has happened is that initially in the olden days, terminals used to have a sort of manual intervention, deep taking and all these things. They are set up very skilled people in those times. Today automation has come. One set of people has become obsolete because they could not migrate to that skill. So this same thing is applicable to all of us. And once we are looking for this organization, it is very important to tune ourselves in a way that we remain relevant for down the line for 35 years and avoid obsolescence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your words of advice, your wisdom, which will go down the line to all the project engineers, to the leadership, to the middle management, to imbibe all this in their systems and to take HPCL forward. And thanks a lot once again for coming for HP Unplugged and giving your valuable time to us, sir.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Sudipto. This is a wonderful platform, and I am very happy to share my journey and thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Amitava Mukhopadhyay, sir, for sharing your invaluable insights and experiences with us. Your commitment to excellence and leadership in engineering projects is an inspiration for all of us at HPCL. To our viewers, thank you for tuning in this episode of HP Unplugged. We hope Shri Mukhopadhyay's journey motivates you to strive for innovation, leadership and excellence in your own careers. Share your thoughts and feedbacks in the comment section below and join us in celebrating the achievements of our leaders who drive HPCL forward. Until next time, thank you and namaskar.